Nice music.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated chance, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back, okay? Always locked in, I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap. Batted 1,000 when you check the stats. Boy, is you ready? You ain't gotta ask.
Welcome back to Just Winning. We are coming to you live once again from the NSM studio. I'm so excited today because the NBA season is really starting to heat up. The Nets are surging right now. I don't even think they've peaked yet. Are they the team to beat? Also, the NBA All-Star starters have been reviewed. Did they get it right this year? We're going to get into all of that and more. But first, let me introduce my good friend, the producer of the Hitting the Field Network, Jaret Kappelman. Jaret, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you doing, bud?
Thanks, John. I appreciate you having me out today. It's been a while since I've been on camera for other stuff. I've been really busy, but nothing like making time to come by and share some bad takes.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. For those who don't know, Jaret's the one who, brought me into Hitting the Field, so it's such an honor to have him on. Jaret, let's get right into it. As I touched on, the Nets, they're surging right now. They're on a 6-game win streak. They're 7-3 in the last 10. They've been playing without Durant the past couple games. I don't think they've peaked yet. Are they the front runners for the NBA title?
John, it's a good point. They are hot right now, and they have been without KD. But I think the big thing to look out here for is that they just don't play defense. They've given up, I think it's the 4th most points in the league. That's not good because come in the playoffs when you're playing a 7-game series and you're playing the same team, they're going to break you down. Yeah, you're going to have to make adjustments. We know from history that James Harden doesn't play defense. Kyrie Irving's more of a ball handler. Kevin Durant's always the front runner, that's going to do it all. But, is he going to stay healthy? He's coming off a torn Achilles and probably cost the Warriors a championship because he could not play because the Warriors relied on him so much. So my thing is going to be, how are the Nets going to be able to adjust if they are not healthy or if they cannot play defense? So as of now, I got to say they are not the front runners, but, we still have a lot of season left to go.
Oh, Jaret. You know what, man? I called it the day James Harden was traded to the Nets, that the Nets would win the NBA championship. And I'm even more reassured about it right now. As I said, I don't think this team's peaked yet. Kevin Durant, he's going to stay healthy. It's more of a load management thing. When they all these three get together in the playoffs, I don't think we've seen a super team with 3 guys who can create their own shots at the level that Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and Kevin Durant can do it. Defensively, you're right, but I don't think it matters because I think they can score so many points. They don't have to play defense. I really think that when they play the 76ers, Joel Embiid, he's going to be a matchup problem for them. Anthony Davis, they're not guarding Anthony Davis. He's going to be a matchup problem for them in the NBA Finals.
I mean, they can roll through the East, John, but think about it. Who are they going to beat in the West? See, at the core of the Nets, they are not winners. The core players, they are not winners. James Harden is not a winner. Kevin Durant is a winner. Kyrie Irving, to me, is a flat earther, so that is a loser to me. But at the core, James Harden is not a winner, and I think we've seen it time and time again. James Harden has been the common denominator in issues around the league when it comes to his team. It's always relied on, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Dwight Howard. But James Harden is always present in these issues. So to me, James Harden is going to go down as probably the best NBA player to never win a championship because, frankly, he's just not a winner. But, who are they going to beat in the West? You really think that they're going to beat the Lakers in a best-of-7? You think they could beat the Clippers in a best-of-7? You think they could beat the Nuggets in a best-of-7? There's absolutely no chance. Those teams play basketball. They don't play street ball like the Nets do, where it's just score as many points as you can. They play basketball. You have to play defense, and that is something that the Nets won't do. And I'm going to keep saying James Harden's just not a winner.
Usually you're right, but like I said, we haven't seen 3 guys who can create their own shots on this level. I think, they play the Sixers. Joel Embiid can score 37 points a game in this series. Same thing when they get the Lakers. Anthony Davis, he'll probably score 40 points a game in a best-of-7 series. But the Nets are going to win that series because Kevin Durant the greatest scorer I've ever seen.
Do
James
you
Harden.
think this Nets best of three is the best, or this Nets like core three is the best core three we've ever seen?
At creating their own shot, absolutely.
But do you think they're the best at working together? It's a team game. It's a team game.
So far, I would absolutely say so. It is a team game, Jaret. You are absolutely right. And these three are playing great team basketball. They're getting Joe Harris involved. They're getting DeAndre Jordan involved offensively, which is something that has not happened in a very, very long time. And let me discredit the James Harden hate for a moment here.
Okay.
James Harden, the reason he hasn't won a championship is because he had to play against the Golden State Warriors with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Kevin Durant. Nobody was beating that team. Not even King James himself was beating that team.
The
James
Raptors
Harden
beat him. I mean, granted, they were hurt, but the Raptors.
Yeah, okay. Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson were on the court. Okay, if the Warriors are healthy, no chance the Raptors are taking that series. No chance. Nets are the team to beat. They are going to win the NBA championship. Kevin Durant, James Harden, Kyrie Irving are simply
LeBron
just
took
too
a bunch
much.
of bums to the NBA championship and beat them and came back 3-1. I mean, there was no Durant, but he took a bunch of bums.
But Jaret, who helped lead him back? Go back and watch it. Kyrie Irving was the catalyst who started that comeback. Kyrie Irving is now on the Brooklyn Nets with Kevin Durant, a 2-time final MVP, and James Harden, probably the best scoring two-guard we've ever seen.
I'm not buying it. I'm buying into like the Nets. You know, they're really hype. You know, great for the sport. Oh, we're gonna score a bunch of points, but they don't play a complete basketball game.
Okay,
if they can figure it out on the defensive side, I can give them the edge. But I just don't see them beating any top team in the West. Maybe the East. I mean, even the Sixers, I think, would give them a run for their money.
Okay, Jaret, let me ask you this: if the Nets are not the front runners, who is?
For the NBA in total? Like,
yeah,
if you're
NBA in
including
total.
the West?
NBA Finals, who's taking the NBA Finals?
If you don't think the Lakers are going back-to-back, I think you're crazy. Healthy versus healthy, the Lakers are the best team in the NBA.
Jaret, I'm telling you, Kevin Durant, too much alone for LeBron James to handle. Let alone,
he has Anthony Davis now.
Yeah, Anthony Davis, like I said, he creates a huge matchup problem for this Nets. He's going to go off. I don't doubt that. But the Nets have more scoring power than any NBA basketball team.
I think you're crazy to think LeBron would ever lose to Kyrie. I don't see that.
Yeah, Jaret, listen, if it's Kyrie alone, you're right. Kyrie on the Celtics, we saw it. He couldn't get him there. But Kyrie, he's playing the best basketball he's played since those
James
NBA
Harden
finals.
can't beat LeBron. Kevin Durant beat LeBron, but only when he had
when he had Steph Curry and Klay Thompson.
But like you go back to
right.
the Thunder when he had Westbrook, and honestly, that Thunder team, or he had Westbrook and Harden, and they still couldn't win.
But those guys were kids back then, Jaret. Now these are grown men. They're in the prime of their career.
But you think that Heat team was that great talent-wise?
The Heat team?
It was just okay. So like, if you look at it, the core three, if you take LeBron, Bosh, and Wade, do you think that core three was better than like what LeBron and Anthony Davis are playing at now?
Jaret, at the time, that was the best basketball team ever assembled.
I would agree. I would fully agree. But if you look back at those three, or would you rather have those three at that point, or would you rather have LeBron and Anthony Davis right now? I think everyone's taking LeBron and Anthony Davis.
Well, here's the thing. Yes, at that time, I would rather have LeBron and Anthony Davis. Here's the thing. Right now, LeBron and Anthony Davis have a lot more competition on their hands than the big three Heat did in that era. So right now, I would take the Heat in that era over the Lakers in this era. So frankly, the Lakers, before they even get to the NBA Finals, they got to take on the LA Clippers. True. I don't trust the LA Clippers. I think the Lakers are the clear front runners.
You can't trust Paul George, though. We know. We've seen that too many times.
Yeah, that's what I want to get at with the Clippers. It's like Paul George looks really good right now, but it kind of is like it just doesn't matter to any of us till we see in the playoffs.
Playoff P, right?
Yeah, playoff P. It's like he could get some NBA MVP votes. We can see him make plays night after night. He was part of the catalyst that almost brought them back against Brooklyn on Sunday, but it's like I don't believe it till I see it in the playoffs. I'm not gonna, this time last year I was declaring the Clippers the NBA champions, but where it is right now with the Clippers, I gotta see it to believe it.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's gonna be fun though to watch down the stretch.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what happens. Jaret, last week we had our NBA All-Star starters revealed, and a lot of the buzz on the West. Did they get it right? Dame, was he a snub? He's not a starter. Luka and Steph Curry are the All-Star guard starters for the West. should Damian be a starter over Luka? What do you think, Jaret?
Over Luka, it's tough because, like, if you look at the stats, wins and losses, the Mavericks are not playing good basketball right now. But, like, Luka's I mean, he's almost at a triple-double. He's averaging, 29.8 and, 8 and 8 around the board. So, like, he's putting up good numbers. It's just, like, it's a fan vote. It just comes down to a popularity contest. I think Luka is more loved by the people because he's more personable than Dame. Dame is very businesslike. It's Dame time. It's time for him to get going. It's tough, man, because Luka's putting up great numbers. He's just on a terrible team.
Yeah, it's a strange argument. I feel like if Dame was the starter, we'd be talking about Luka as the snub. So it's hard to really say one or the other. I will say I do think it's worth noting. Dame did win the player vote and the media vote, but that international vote is huge for Luka. So ultimately, winning the fan vote got him there. And, I do think at the end of the day it should be Dame because his team has really overachieved because of him. Now, granted, the reason the Mavericks have underachieved is not because of Luka. It's sort of out of his hands.
You can look at it from two ways. If you take Luka off the Mavericks, they are by far even worse than they already are. If you take Dame off the Blazers, yes, they are still, they lose a lot more games, but are they as bad as the Mavericks currently are? That's kind of the argument that it's tough to, decide.
Absolutely. And, I think that's why it could go either way. Now, in the East, I will go out on a limb here. I think they got it wrong. Kyrie Irving is an all-star starter. I think that should have been Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is having a career year. He's currently the best defender in the entire NBA. He's a guy who, he can guard Damian Lillard. He can also guard Pascal Siakam or Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's playing great defense. He's setting great screens. He's probably the best screener in the NBA. He's also, a great passer and playmaker. And, but because he's not a great scorer, because he's not pulling up from the logo like Dame or Steph or Trae Young, people don't want to give him the credit where it's due. But in every facet of the game besides scoring, he's head and shoulders above Kyrie Irving. So Ben Simmons, I don't think he's getting enough love right now. I think he should clearly be the all-star starter over Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough with Kyrie. He's missed a decent amount of time with injury, but it's always going to go back to the fan vote. At the end of the day, the All-Star game is an event. It's a media event. It's really not for the players. It's more of make an appearance. Let's get some clicks. Let's get some views. So they appease to the fans. It's tough though because Ben Simmons, you're right. He is playing great basketball. He's probably the thing is he's not a traditional point guard, and I think that's the issue with fans. He's not that score 20 points a game, 10 assists kind of guy. He's Ben Simmons. He's gonna play defense. He's not gonna shoot a three. He's gonna pass the ball. I think you bring up an interesting argument. As I said earlier, the Nets are easily the most hyped team right now, and I think everyone's on board. So I think that's probably why we saw Kyrie get the edge here. They're both good players at the end of the day. So, again, I don't think it's going to mean too much of an effect. I mean, at the end of the day, do the players really care? I don't know.
So at the end of the day, I think the players do care. But also at the end of the day, 3 years from now, we're not going to remember who the All-Star starters are. I can't tell you who the All-Star starters were from 2017. But I do think it is going to ignite Ben Simmons for the rest of the season. The players, it will motivate them throughout the season, the ones who got snubbed. So it's going to be great to see. We're going to bring you more All-Star Game analysis as it gets closer. Right now, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we will reveal our Beast, Bust, and Best of the Week.
I've already had a good week. This you're going to get an L, Sean. I've never been 0-2 in any fantasy league of records that I've been in, and it ain't going to start this week, I promise you. Projections don't mean nothing. Come back next week when you catch another L, Nick, like you've been doubting my Nuggets, okay? Just get ready to catch another L.
What you say, that you only meant well, 'cause you did, what you say, that it's all for the best, 'cause it is what you say, that it's just what we need, you decided this. What you say? What did she say?
I am absolutely flabbergasted and shocked, frankly, that the Rams are the underdogs. I say the Rams win at +2.5. It's not even close. Bet the house on the Rams. The Bills lose this one. I don't know why. It confuses me. I don't know.
What you say? That you only meant well, you did, what you say, that it's all for the best.
The Astros are going to cry. They're going to lose in 4, and they're going to go home, and they're going to cry and think about what they've done.
What you say, that you only meant well, cause you did, what you say, that it's all for the best.
Okay, so that's wrong. And I'm going Marlins because why not? The Fish don't lose in the postseason. Represent.
What you say, that you only meant well, cause you did, what you say, that it's all for the best.
Welcome back. You know what time it is. It is time to reveal our Beast, Bust, and Best of the Week. For those of you who don't know, maybe you're new to the show, this is the segment where, our Beast of the Week, that is the best player that has impressed us most from the past week. The bust is the most disappointing player or team from the past week, and the best is the most impressive team from the past week. Jaret, without further ado, who is your Beast of the Week?
I think it's obvious, maybe not to everyone, but to me it is. It was Novak Djokovic. He took his 18th career Grand Slam title over the weekend, claiming the Australian Open. He's an absolute monster. He's one shy now of tying the all-time record, and there's no question in my mind that he's going to go down as the most winningest player. I don't know if he'll go down as the greatest tennis player for men's. He's not very loved by the media. He's not really loved by the players. Djokovic has a very interesting style of tennis. He's very, hostile, is a word you can use. When you name tennis in today's age, you think Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic is kind of like the third one, that is praised by people. But yeah, I think no question when you look at talent and look back at careers, I think you can say that Djokovic had a better career than Nadal and Federer. But it also goes into he's maintained his health really, really well, and that's something that's very tough in tennis.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's been a tough year for Djokovic, public image-wise and everything, but, we love a good redemption story. He's doing some good things right now, and, what he did this weekend, great for him. I think he ultimately will go down as the greatest men's tennis player ever. I think the greatest tennis player ever is Serena. She's possibly the greatest athlete of all time, period. But, I got a lot of respect for Djokovic. I think he is the best tennis player and the greatest, so awesome for him. My Beast of the Week, I'm taking it back to the hardwood. I'm going to LaMelo Ball. He's now the front runner for Rookie of the Year. He's now a starter, and since becoming a starter, he's averaging 22, 6 and 6. He's looking like a great two-way player, an elite playmaker. And here's something he's done that I never thought I would ever see is he's made the Charlotte Hornets watchable. When they're on TV, they're a team I want to tune in to watch, and that's really never been the case with the Charlotte Hornets. So it's awesome to see. He's fun to watch. He's getting me wins on my fantasy team. I beat Johnny Jackson this week.
Everyone beat Johnny Jackson, just saying.
Everyone beat Johnny Jackson, but you know what? I really needed a win this week, and LaMelo Ball carried me to that. So LaMelo Ball is my Beast of the Week.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. He's been doing it since Chino Hills back in the day. I still remember when he was a freshman saying he's better than Lonzo, and everyone's kind of like, hey, you sure? And, he's turned out to be the best ball brother, so that's kind of cool to see.
Yeah, he's by far the best ball brother, and, I kind of think playing overseas against grown men sort of gave him an advantage,
Yeah.
These guys come out of college, they're playing against other 18, 19-year-olds. And LaMelo Ball, he's touched on, how it did help him play against grown men, seeing how they go about their business and, having to, deal with the physicality of playing overseas. So I think that really prepared him for the NBA, and I think that's sort of why we're seeing him make such an impact as a rookie when, it takes guys so long. And let me say something about this rookie class real quick. Draft day, they were talking about how, you weren't going to get – this wasn't going to be a super star-studded draft class. I think that's wrong. Anthony Edwards, he looks like a future all-star. LaMelo Ball does too, and so does James Wiseman. So I think this actually surprisingly turned out to be a really, really great NBA draft class.
Yeah, I'd agree. It definitely turned out better than what the analysts had said it was going to.
Yeah. Jaret, who's your bust of the week?
Bust of the week, I'm going to have to go, it was just announced this morning, and it's just going to be bust of, the last 5 years. It's got to be DeMarcus Cousins. It has to be. He just got waived again. Poor guy tried to ring hop and, just didn't do it successfully. He got hurt, tore his Achilles, tore his ACL. It sucks. Ever since he tore his ACL on the Pelicans, or was it the Achilles? I don't know. He's done so many times. It sucks. He was really like a really good player, I think, but now he's kind of like, how Dwight Howard kind of fell off the map for a couple of years, and I mean, even then last year he won a championship, but like he's kind of just got like the Dwight Howard effect. He's just fallen off the map. DeMarcus Cousins, I don't even think anyone's gonna remember like how good of a career he had like when he was with the Kings, So I think that's just kind of tough. I got to go DeMarcus Cousins though. It's tough scenes out here, really.
Yeah, that's certainly a bust right there. This is a guy I've been watching and rooting for since his days at Kentucky. He's had a tough time. He's always kind of been labeled a problem guy, as far as his character and his antics. And then, he played his best basketball in Sacramento where no one was watching. Nobody watched the Sacramento Kings. And by the time he finally gets out of there, now he's injury prone. He's past his prime. And it's also such a bust because I was so excited to see this guy play on the Houston Rockets, being reunited with his Kentucky teammate John Wall, because that was probably my favorite duo ever watching in college basketball. That was sort of the team that got me into college basketball. So seeing them reunited, I was so excited for, and now it is no more. Boogie Cousins, he's a free agent again. He's unemployed, and I'm rooting for everyone to find a job in these tough COVID times. So DeMarcus Cousins, certainly a good bust of the week. Hopefully he bounces back strong. My bust of the week, I'm going with the Minnesota Timberwolves. They fired Flip Saunders, and if you're the Timberwolves, it's got to be frustrating because most teams are trying to find that star. The Timberwolves, they've caught every break in that regard. Getting Andrew Wiggins fall into them, didn't pan out with him. When they paired Andrew Wiggins with Karl Anthony Towns, that was supposed to be it. They were finally supposed to have arrived. And if that wasn't it, when they brought in Jimmy Butler, certainly now they're going to be a, perennial playoff team, adding Jimmy Butler with two of the young stars in the NBA. That wasn't it either. That was actually a complete and utter disaster. Now, you send Andrew Wiggins off, you get D'Angelo Russell. Now D'Angelo and Karl Anthony Towns can't stay healthy. And by the way, you had the number 1 pick in the draft, that Anthony Edwards, and it still doesn't work. It's a dumpster fire. Granted, like I said, Towns and Russell have missed a lot of time. Hopefully they're able to figure it out, but I just can't imagine the frustration the people of Minnesota must be feeling, having to, deal with the realization that you finally get these stars and you still can't, it still doesn't cultivate into wins. So I can't imagine. The Timberwolves are my bust of the week.
Yeah, I mean, they got cool unis, like those neon green ones are pretty cool.
Oh,
but,
yeah, they're sick.
I would agree. Like, they just are a disaster. I don't even understand what they're doing in the front office wise. They're just kind of all over the place. I mean, as you said, Karl Anthony Towns has gone through a lot. COVID really did strike him and his family. But yeah, it really is tough. Like, to see, like, they had a talented roster with like Wiggins, Butler, and Cat, and they just did absolutely nothing with it. So another bust too, real quick, John. I don't know if you saw it over the weekend, but that kid that went viral on Twitter roasting Cam Newton, what an idiot he is. College scouts are going to see that now and just like not recruit you because you're an absolute idiot, like trying to make fun of Cam Newton. Like, I just don't. I get it, like, oh hey, it's funny, but like that was so stupid to do on camera at a prospect camp, and you probably won't go to a good college now because college coaches don't want to deal with that.
Well, it's like I wish there was NFL players at the 7-on-7 camps that I played in, So that's so awesome to see. And then, you're going to come right at the guy and disrespect him when this is a Heisman winner. This is a former MVP. You can learn so much from this guy. Granted, I do think, the kid was trying to get attention. He was trying to be funny. He's a high school kid. Let's remember that. And I think, if I'm a scout, I'm going to sit down and talk to this kid. I think there's a good chance he learned his lesson. And, when you make a mistake in high school, you can learn from it. You can bounce back from it. You can be better for it. So I do think this kid could get another chance. This isn't like the situation with the kid we saw earlier in the year who assaulted a ref. That kid is going to have a much tougher time getting a second chance. This kid who, disrespected Cam Newton, certainly a terrible look. Certainly, just really an immature move from a high school kid. But let's remember that he is a high school kid. And I think if I'm a scout, I'm going to sit him down. I'm going to see if he learned from it. And if he did, I think there's a good chance he gets another shot if he's good enough. That I don't know.
Yeah, it all comes down to talent, too, because talent will always outweigh all the political side of things and all that stuff. So, I mean, I don't know much. I didn't find out what the kid's name was. I don't even know where the high school was or whatever. Yeah. But I just thought it was, it was like when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's funny. And I'm like, but you're an idiot at the same time.
Oh, yeah, it's a terrible look, but like I said, I think he'll learn from it.
Yeah.
Jaret, let's put away the negativity.
All right.
Who is your best of the week?
Best of the week. So I got a couple. It's kind of hard, but
hit me with it.
I'm gonna go to North Carolina, and we're gonna go to the UNC Tar Heels baseball team. The college baseball kicked off this season, so that's a big win across the nation. But my kid that I grew up or played high school with and played summer ball with for like 3-4 years, Caleb Roberts. I just texted him good luck at the start of the season. I saw they were kicking off. I texted him good luck, and that day he hit 2 home runs opening day. And opening weekend he hit .455 with 8 RBIs. Batting third for UNC. So, I just thought, it was kind of convenient. I texted him good luck, and what do you know, he hits 2 home runs opening day. So I don't want to say I'm good luck, but if you need some good luck and you want me to text you, I can do that, and you might hit, some home runs on opening weekend.
Wow. The old Jaret Kappelman text. I could use a few more of those in my life.
Yeah, you want me to send you one right now? I can do it.
Maybe not right now because you can just say it to me, but maybe like tonight. Maybe just make it like a once a week every like Tuesday night, every Monday night.
Maybe Monday. So
I think Sunday. I think Sunday evenings is when I could really use it the most when I'm dealing with the Sunday scaries and I got the whole week ahead of me. Maybe just hit me with a good luck.
Yeah, hey, I'll do that. You know what? This Sunday you can count me down for a good luck text.
Awesome. Looking forward to it. My best of the week is the Toronto Raptors. They started out the season really rough. They're now on a 4-game win streak. They're back in the middle of the East, and I think we're not even halfway through the NBA season, so I think the landscape of the East is going to change a lot from now till come playoff time. And if they can keep this momentum going, I think they can contend with anybody in the East. They've got so many long, athletic defenders. Pascal Siakam is, when he's at his best, he's as good as any two-way player in the NBA. Kyle Lowry, we've seen what he can do as a competitor and knocking down those big shots. So I think, I kind of chalk up their bad start to, they had to play in Tampa this year. All their facilities, everything they've built, their lives they've built around in Toronto, and then now you got to come and establish that in Tampa. I think that's a pretty big disadvantage for them, but it looks like they're starting to figure it out. So the Toronto Raptors are my best of the week.
Yeah, I mean that's a good best of the week. I mean, I really want to see the Raptors do something. I really want to see Kyle Lowry prove that he can be a leader, because I think that's always been his biggest flaw, his biggest character flaw. Is he a true leader? I mean, you had DeMar DeRozan there and Kawhi Leonard, so can Kyle Lowry really take control? So I like that, John. I think that's a solid one.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I sure hope they figure it out. Pascal Siakam, another guy on my fantasy team, so I'll be rooting for him.
Dude, shout out to Cliff for managing my fantasy team and giving me daily text updates as if I know what's going on.
Oh, man, what a guy. Cliff, you're the absolute best. We're going to bring you back on the show soon. Jaret, thank you for joining me on the show today. That's all the time we have, brother, but it's been awesome.
No, I appreciate having me on. It's good time. I been watching behind the scenes for the past year, so it's nice to get on once again and in person. First time in person. I did it on Zoom once, but this is a lot better.
Yeah, let's do it again soon. And thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, be sure to hit the like and subscribe and tune in next week. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of your week.